Gonna discuss Dota 6.87 patch, starting from the top. In general, they reworked ranked all pick. That's not too important, but
it's actually very important.
Well, it is very important, but
this is what Reddit was bitching about for like the past 7 months.
Well, I don't play ranked all pick, so actually, Elliot, why don't you go ahead and give your since you go on Reddit a little bit more than I do. Like, what would they bet you about?
Well, the thing is, the thing about ranked all pick was people were able to counter pick very easily in that game, and everyone's just like in that game mode, and everyone's like, well, base Mr. Lizard, can we have bans? And so all this really does is add a banning phase to all pick. So you take away the captain from captain's mode, and this is pretty much what you have. What?
Yep, true.
What is this, Casey?
All right. So now the scan ability.
We StarCraft 2 now, boys.
Pretty much.
What does the scan ability mean? What does it mean?
I will read it. I'll read it. Scans a targeted 900 AoE for 8 seconds. Indicates whether there are enemy heroes in that area during the 8 seconds. Starts on cooldown and has a global team-wide cooldown of 4.5 minutes.
Wait, so what does it do?
Basically, but here's what it does. It scans an area, 900 AoE. It just tells you if there are enemy heroes in there. It doesn't tell you where they are. It just tells you if they're there.
Oh my god, the abuse for like nobody can stealth Roche.
No, you can. It does not consider. It doesn't. It does not consider units inside the Roshan pit.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. I like
that. But it does consider smoked units.
And this doesn't give vision.
Okay, I am happy.
One important thing to note: this doesn't give vision. It's basically a trip, really.
It's like an early warning system.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, it'll let you know there are heroes there, but it won't tell you how many, and it won't tell you what they are.
Yeah, it'll just tell you, oh, someone's there. Maybe you should go the other way.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I see a lot of this ability being used.
People are gonna try to use that in pubs, and people are gonna get yelled at by other people for using it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be abused in pubs so much.
Oh,
well, I think it's just gonna be that people are gonna misuse it. That's all.
There goes my train of thought. Never mind.
Yeah, never. Okay, so here's a few HP and mana stuff. I'll read it the top 4 all in a row, and I'll mention why I think these things are important. So the starting HP was increased from 180 to 200. HP per strength increased from 19 to 20. Hero-based mana increased from 0 to 50, and the mana per int reduced from 13 to 12. I think this is very important for heroes like Terrorblade, who doesn't have a lot of health. This will finally make him a little more relevant in the overall meta.
The thing is, these buffs, though, tie in later to the patch, to the bullet point right below it. That's where things come. This is why that change happened.
Exactly. So then we move on to the intelligence now increases your spell damage by 1% per 16 intelligence points.
League of Legends now.
Yep. Pretty much. Casey, what did you have to say about that?
What?
I remember you said something about that little intelligence damage increase.
Silencer?
Pretty much.
The thing is, right, but however, someone did the math on Reddit. I think it was 78. You need 78 intelligence to equate the damage increase given by an Aether Lens, which really isn't that much. What it is really just kind of basically a blanket buff to all int caster types, right?
It's small, but it's still important.
Yeah, small, but still important. It's because considering they also nerfed Aether Lens later on.
All right. So there's some creep there's some creep aggro and armor and damage stuff. It's all fairly minor, but the towers have gotten some new things. So tier 2 towers now deal same damage as tier 3s. The towers now grant an armor aura to allied heroes, and the true sight range was reduced to 700. I kind of like this armor aura thing. It makes tower defense a little
cowering
easier.
under the tower like a little bitch a little bit more beneficial for you.
Exactly. Like, it'll actually be difficult to take down like tier 1 towers now. The melee hero attack range has actually been increased from 128 to 150. Not really much, but it might make some interesting thing. And then one of the most important ones that I've seen so far, the Roshan changes. His magic resistance was reduced. That's not that important. But the 2 most important ones, I think, in the generals. His HP was increased from 7,500 plus 125 per minute to 8,000 plus 175 per minute. And his experience was reduced from 1,789 to 750 plus 20 per minute.
This
No-
is a direct nerf to Ursa. The thing is,
Well,
Ursa.
not even that. No. I would argue that it's a direct nerf to the. They're trying to eliminate the all or nothing strat.
No, it's a nerf to Ursa because here's why. It's not so much the all or nothing. It's just it's a nerf to Ursa because Ursa could walk into the Roche pit at level 5 and walk out at level 8. That's the problem. That's a very big problem. So it's just a direct nerf to that. Because
Yeah, but then
Ursa
again, the
was
thing is,
being able
you
to
can just
snowball out of control.
But once again, it's also easy to keep track of him doing that as long as you're there and you're like.
You're also missing a lot of these changes. We need to go through all these. These are all kind of important.
But not a lot of the creep stuff.
Yes, they are.
Okay, like what?
Well,
The bounty runes. The bounty runes no longer give it. The initial bounty runes no longer give it experience. That's kind of important.
Here's the thing. Okay, lane creep aggro duration increases
Missing bottom.
from 2 to 2.5. That is what the hell is James doing?
I don't know what James is doing.
I'm last hitting.
Oh yeah, you're working some of the kinks out, aren't you?
Not being.
I'm just practicing as
Okay,
well.
so the increased creep aggro duration, not really that big, but it's something to note, considering that when it comes to dealing with denies and last hitting, that's going to be more of an obnoxious thing. However, so they reduced gold bounty reduced from 40 to 38. Not much. Increase the bounty upgrade over time from 1 to 2, which means they'll get gold faster. So it upgrades every 7.5 minutes. They reduced the melee creep experience from 62 to 45. Not too bad.
But they increased
the
the
biggest
range
buff, the most important change here, came from basically almost doubling the amount of experience a range creep gave, 41 to 90.
So the range creeps are going to be priority.
What that means is Lich can out farm the ever living shit out of his lane. This is a buff to Lich, a massive buff to Lich, because he just denies the range creep every time, and he's getting
James, Casey, take note.
Oh, that's true. That's actually.
Yeah, because in
Right,
that
so, I mean-
case, the pull-through method could actually be useful in a dual lane, because then you'd be not only would you be denying creeps in your own way, but you'd be leveling up pretty well.
What are you doing?
Let's see.
Dragon Knight, what are you
Evasion. James, don't either talk about the patch notes. Don't talk about what the hell you're doing. Evasion's not calculated on impact rather than launch. This is more.
It's also they also changed it to the pseudo random.
Pseudo random, which means PA doesn't get hit 11 times in a row, but can't dodge things 11 times in a row. They do the same. Ice Fog's starting to move away from random distribution to pseudo random, because pseudo random is a lot. You can game it more, if that makes sense. You can game it more, so
It's significantly less infuriating.
Yeah.
yeah, they changed it with Axe, so it's about time.
All right.
Evasion calculated on impact. This is big because this means what you could do. As let's say you're a PA on high ground, you could. Let me see. What was the example? Yeah, if they shoot you at high ground and you evade, but they blink to high ground, you could still get hit. Really, I have yet to see this really being, noteworthy, but maybe later.
It might not be that important because there aren't very many range. I can't really think of very many range people that would buy Blink Dagger. Like there are a few that are really good, but not many, not enough to really make it worthwhile.
Let's see. The following buffs are now following buffs and debuffs are now purgeable. Nightmare spawns Spiderlings, Malefice, Cold Snap, Corrosive Skin, and Leap.
Arthur's gonna hate that nightmare fact.
Well, the thing is,
And the Malefice.
It's bringing it more in line with being able to purge everything. That's kind of the whole point of a purge.
True.
Like, why the fuck is there exceptions to it? Illusions now benefit from damage block. Makes sense considering it's a stat modifier. So
Yeah.
Captain's mode shit I don't care about.
Yep.
Remove the strong armor type and moved effective units to soft type, which now means basic. That the armor type adjustments really only apply to jungle creeps. So
Yeah,
remove the star-
and even then, most of the jungle creep stuff is not going to actually affect you that much because most of it's all reductions.
Yeah, most of it's deductions. Skipping terrain.
Yes.
All right.
All right, new item time. All right, boys,
Bloodthorn.
let's talk about some new items.
Bloodthorn.
Bloodthorn.
Oh,
Now, it's basically an orchid and a crystallis that when you
Crystallis.
use
Crystallis.
that when you use on people, all allies attacking that people gain True Strike. The target is silenced, and every time they hit it, they get a 1.35x critical hit. Casey, what do you think of this?
What?
Come on, Casey. Bloodthorn. What do you think of it?
Bloodthorn? What does it do again exactly?
It's an Orchid and a Crystallis combined.
Oh, so you can silence.
You silence people, and then the person who is silenced, all people who attack that person gain True Strike and a 1.35x critical hit.
Well, that kind of kills evasion.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing though. Here's a funny thing, right? This is a kind of a little anecdote. Silencer used to have this ability back in Dota 6.6 something. Way back in Dota 1 days, like the early Dota 1 patches, he used to have this ability before they stripped it away because it was stupidly OP. So it's kind of funny because IceFrog is pretty much adding back all the ideas he had in the form of items. So it's kind of interesting, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
However, the cost of this goddamn thing is 7,195 gold. Like, the only people I could really see buying this are Invoker and Silencer. Core Silencer.
Yeah, not even like normal Silencer. Like, he has to go.
Yeah, it's like it's a really good item, but it's cost prohibitive. It, like, people said the same thing about it being OP like Octarine Core, but we have yet to see. New item, Echo Saber.
Echo Saber. James, what is Echo Saber gonna do to people?
Everybody's gonna be Weaver. Every melee hero is gonna be like One Punch Man.
Actually, better description. Every melee hero is gonna be Master Yi. For those of you that don't know Master Yi, he has a passive, right? That every 2 seconds, I believe, he could attack twice. And I thought, while I was sitting in class today, I thought I could make Jug into Master Yi. So pretty much this could be really beneficial for like PA or Jug.
Legion. No, it could also be beneficial for Legion because of her passive.
Not really.
Well, it depends. If you can get the proc, that's 3 attacks in an instant, and that could win you a duel.
But she needs more shit than that. Like, the thing is, it's not really that good on her. Especially, there are other items.
There are better items.
I could definitely see this on Jug, on Sven, on PA, fucking PA.
Ursa and Troll Warlord.
Templar Assassin.
Troll Warlord.
Oh yeah, Troll is
benefit
this. Wraith King.
That's maybe.
Well, that's
actually, yeah, that would be pretty strong.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Because I mean, no crit.
No crit. All right.
Okay, Blightstone. Basically, it's just like it's the armor reducing part.
It's a replacement for a recipe. This is some Dota Imba shit right here.
Exactly. They're actually taking advice from Imbo, though I want to see my freaking like int-based blade.
Soon.jpg.
Yeah.
Well, let me see. Is this blade? No. Okay,
well, they definitely are taking advice from them with the
Reddit.
with the whole what's his face, the fucking gyro ags.
Oh yeah, that would. IceFrog goes on Reddit. He goes on Reddit.
A lot of people are saying it's not good. I don't know where it's gonna go though. I mean,
I don't know why they did that, because I preferred his ags from before, because that way, if you were far away, you would usually have TP, but you could get to your team. But in the event that you couldn't get to your team fast enough, at least you could support them somehow. Now you're a guy that isn't even that strong.
But you realize this increases we'll get to that item.
Basically the only way
we should keep on topic, guys.
Okay, so Blightstone is basically just a cheaper Desolator that builds into Desolator.
Well, it's the recipe for Desolator and Medallion, but it's not a recipe. That's the whole purpose of it.
And it gives you like early game armor stripping.
Then comes based infused raindrops. Holy shit!
Exactly.
So costs 225 gold, gives 0.85 mana regen. Comes with 5 charges. When the item is destroyed when it reaches 0 charges. When you receive over 50 magic damage, procs consuming a charge, blocking 120 magic damage. That's going to be a terrible 8 item if I ever saw one.
It'll also be a very good mid laner item, especially against the likes of Invoker or like Lina.
Yeah, I could see Lina. Not so much Invoker, because Invoker's weird, because he's a hybrid of the damage he does.
Yeah, true. Okay, Windlance. Extra 20 movement speed. It's basically just a replacement for like a couple of things in drums and yules.
It's all these next 3 items are just replacements for.
Tome of Knowledge is like straight up like I'm not even sure.
Support. It's for
as a support. I approve this item.
It's for a support. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I can spend my money on something actually useful.
Indeed.
Holy mother of shit, Dragonlance.
Hurricane Pike.
Well, no. Okay, so the Hurricane Pike. I was looking at it at first, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is gonna make Enchantress Imba," but if you look further down the patch notes, Enchantress has a damage max. So, Alamau, it gives her a bunch of max range hits, sure, but it's not